Unsleeving this deck that I'm not super happy with. I designed it as a sort of uncommon, non-legendary commander deck, but it just never really gets played. You might notice that the cards are budget options. This is already a budget deck, but even with my stronger decks, I like to pick cards that other people might not pick. Save myself some money, but also end up with a slightly more unique deck. Re-sleeving is something that I have to do often. Unsleeving and then re-sleeving. Because I change my mind. I get really excited about a new idea for a deck. And then it either underperforms, or I just really don't have a great place to try it out. The colors of this deck are green, white, and red. In Magic the Gathering, the nickname for that color combination is Naya. It can be a really strong combination, but as I said earlier, this is a bit of a goofy deck. Also, when I sleeve a deck, I try to pick sleeves that match the vibe. And although there are red cards in this deck, the red sleeves just didn't really make sense to me. So hopefully I can find another deck that the red goes really well with. also recently started storing and displaying my commander decks in a nicer way. And I'm really happy with it. But it's also made me very selective of what cards I want to put on display. Hopefully you're enjoying this unsleeving. This is something that I usually do while I'm watching a show. Because it can be a little tedious. But I'm finding this setup I have right now is going really quickly. Much like my decks, this camera and lighting setup is very budget. Mirrorwood Treefolk is a pretty neat card, but it was a little difficult to find a way to make it useful. I've also recently started cataloging my decks online with lists, which is especially helpful because I often forget where my cards are and what deck they're in. So hopefully once I've cataloged all the main ones, I can just search for something and voila. The playmat that I'm using right now, I believe the character's name is Tomek, but I could be mistaken. It's from quite a few sets ago now. Just flipping through this deck, in case you're curious of what was in it. Nothing too crazy. curious about what other players' favorite color combinations are when they play Magic. I used to be a really huge fan of green and blue, also known as Simic. But I really like to play pretty much anything. There we go. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.